Hello, lovely beans. 'Tis I, your host, Autumn Oakley, and this is the Autumn Mindset. So today's episode, I wanted to talk about, how I was being guided for 30 years from the universe to leave my struggle, to align with my frequency, to recognize how to get to 5D, how to recognize how to get into, the way of being of new earth. And, that's my wish for you, if that's what you choose. So, and if those don't resonate with you, I spent 30 years stuck in chronic cycles, stuck in the way we've been conditioned in our society. And I can tell you, we're meant to break free from it. The universe, for 30 years was sending me signs, sending me signals. I just could not perceive them at the low vibration that we're currently living at, that we've been conditioned to be. That it was trying to get me to leave my struggle. It was trying to get me out of the depression, the unhealthy relationships of manipulation. It was trying to help me, leave the anxiety, the, self-belief systems, a lot of trauma. It was trying to align me with my frequency to get me to a high vibration. And it's at a high vibration, a lot of the things you struggle with fall off. The addictions, the habits that are harmful, the depression, the anxiety. And yes, you still have to heal things. And yes, you still have challenges, but you don't feel stuck to things. You don't feel deep darkness. You don't feel, depression, like you're just immersed in it. And regardless of that, just the systems of, going to burnout through, the careers and work and not understanding why your relationships are bringing you pain and not working out. It's because, we're meant to face things. But the truth is that what I learned through my awakening, through my shift in conscious awareness, and if those terms don't resonate with you, that's fine. I built the Autumn Mindset, for you to take what resonates, because it's in our unique perception in this moment that is the key, because it's leading to our authenticity. And that's something that's been removed from our society. It's our unique vibration and our authenticity that actually brings us to a space that we can hold the power to co-create our reality. So, this is why I'm here, to help you wherever you are uniquely in this moment, whether you're stuck in depression, whether you're feeling lack of confidence, whether you are going through your awakening and you're feeling lost in the unknown, whatever it is. That is a part of, why I was being led to build the Autumn Mindset, what I was being guided to build, unique story on me and my awakening, and I'm sure it's not unique. I'm sure other people have had this experience as well. We're all one consciousness. But I basically, embarked into the unknown alone. I felt the call to leave everyone I once knew, completely. I felt that my old self died. And, I spent close to a year in my awakening alone and not seeking knowledge. So I wasn't going to books. I wasn't going to YouTube. I just felt this call in my gut to embrace, discovering source on my own. And I felt delulu. I felt really out of sorts, but I knew deep in my soul that these things were real. These things were true, that were coming into my perception, into my reality. But it was, all for a purpose. It was to help me gain clarity and awareness of how the universe is actually connecting with us throughout our lives. I spent 30 years stuck in cycles of depression, anxiety, lots of trauma, abuse. I never really felt like I belonged in this world. I always felt a lot of struggle since early childhood, and it kind of continued. And it led to chronic cycles of depression, anxiety that I never could let go of, binge eating, alcohol binging, feeling utter darkness. My nervous system was so overactive. It led to me getting chronically ill physically twice. That left me bedridden twice in my life. And I had to rebuild my systems from the ground up. I was bedridden. So I've been through struggle. We've all been through struggle. But, my life, really, I'm grateful for it all. It led me to clarity. It led me to answers for me to share with you, discovering how to leave whatever you're struggling with, because I've gained such a broad view that I hope I can relate to you to help you where you are uniquely on your journey, because we're meant to be growing and expanding. And the truth is that going through this shift in consciousness, I was being led to understand the truth of things, that the universe is actually bringing us signs, it's bringing us clues into our perception, into our reality in this present moment for us to address so we can get to a better space, so we can leave the depression, so we can leave the anxiety, so we can leave the burnout we feel in our careers, so we can gain confidence, so we can align with our unique frequency and our authenticity, because that is the key. That is what has been removed from our society, is that, it is our authentic frequency and state of being that determines our reality. So we have been repressing things, with emotions, the words we use, the way society has been built. And it stays in our nervous system because everything is energy. And it's our nervous system that basically, is the power source for things to create our reality. And we've been conditioned to put up blocks in our perception, with the ego, because we do have free will and we do have an ego that acts as a filter to avoid pain, to avoid hard things. And because we've been conditioned in society to be at a low vibration, we feel stuck to them. We cannot understand why we can't leave the harmful habits. Things just keep getting worse. But, it is our state of being that determines our reality, which means we need to let go of things. We've been conditioned in society for this need of control. We've been conditioned to be seeking things in the future and focused on the past instead of the present moment. And is the present moment of gratitude and is the present moment of understanding what needs to be addressed so that it can be released, that is bringing you to your authentic vibration and frequency. And I can tell you, when I was coming out of fibromyalgia and I was bedridden, I was feeling really stuck. I spent 30 years feeling like it couldn't get much darker, but it always seemed to. And, my life was falling apart. I was going through healing. I was making those changes. I was facing things finally that the universe was actually putting into my perception, into my, reality. But they basically were forcing me to. And that's a part of it, is that a lot of our struggle, it's because we have been conditioned not to face things, not to address things at low vibrations. But those things fall off at high vibrations. Yes, you still have struggle. Yes, you still have healing to do and address those things. But a lot of our struggle and the things within our nervous system that are overwhelming, they release at a high vibration. That's the way we're meant to be living. We're supposed to be, going through a journey of growth and expansion to get to a better place in mind, body, and soul. And it's this is just a part of the journey. But the universe was basically forcing me to, the second time I came down with chronic illness and I was bedridden for the second time in my life, it was forcing me to be still. It was forcing me to observe things and heal things because I wasn't listening for 30 years. And that was the point, was that the universe is trying to get you to the space and reality you desire, but we need to let go of things. We've been conditioned to seek everything outside of ourselves, focus on the future, focus on the past, and control things. The truth is that it's when you let go of things and you focus on the present, it is giving you everything you need. It is giving you the answers that are repeating, the cycles that are repeating, because there's a lesson there you're meant to face, so you leave. It is giving you, actual signs from the universe that keep coming into view, that are repeating, that you're meant to, connect the dots or address. It's in the present moment. You are actually in a space of gratitude, and if you're in an overwhelmed nervous system, you're in a space that you're releasing that, because what has been blocked is the problem. Because we've been conditioned to seek control. We've been conditioned with the words we use to create our reality that are not focused on the present moment. They are basically putting into our reality that money's unattainable, that happiness is in the future. We are focused on everything, not in the present, in our state of being. And it is in our state of being that determines our reality. But we do need to do some hard things to get to that elevated space that you can actually co-create your desired reality with the universe. And, it's a part of our perception that we need to break to recognize these things. So, the universe was really forcing me the second time. I wasn't listening to the signs. I obviously couldn't recognize the signs. And that is a part of our conditioned mind, is that we cannot see what the universe is actually bringing into view. we cannot really recognize the truth of the things we're meant to face because of how we've been conditioned. And it's not to place blame on society. Really, who cares? The point is that you need to focus on yourself. You need to address things within and in your environment and do what's best for you accordingly, because you create your reality. That is a part of our human experience here. So, and I say this with love, but I was being forced to be, stagnant. I was being forced to observe things, my life. And, other times when I was in depression, anxiety, I was always in burnout. I'd always go overwhelmed. I'd work, 80-hour weeks and then fall into a depression because I hit burnout. I was just in this cycle throughout my life, feeling good one moment, falling back down, basically just on this hamster wheel of, hardship that never seemed to go away. But I was feeling good at some times. But it's when you're feeling good, you're actually elevating vibration. But I wasn't sticking to things. When I was trying to grow, I was, when I was feeling good, I was aligning with my frequency, I was aligning with my path, in social media. I'd built 2 accounts at one point in time and I was feeling good in those, but I didn't stick to them because, my environment, was a part of it. My environment, I was doing a lot of this stuff by myself. I was, taking care of people. I was, feeling pretty exhausted. I was trying to, focus on everything that I didn't really take the time to focus on myself. I didn't take the time to heal things. So, everything is being brought into your view in the time that it's meant to, but we can't always perceive the truth of them, of what we truly, are meant to pursue. And the universe is really sending you signs in how you feel. And, when I came down with, fibromyalgia and I was chronically, bedridden and in a lot of pain, for the second time, when I was doing those things and when I was in state of fight or flight, when, I was chronically ill before, I could still do things, I just wasn't listening. I could still, make plans with friends. I could still cook and clean. I had to start from walking again and I was fainting and it was a struggle, but my nervous system was shutting down, but I could still do things. And I wasn't listening to the fact that, I was meant to make changes in my environment and within myself. So the second time around was far worse. I basically was forced from the universe that there was no way out. I basically was being forced to heal 30 years of repressed trauma. I was being forced to understand that, my body had taken its toll. I'd gained 80 pounds in inflammation. I was, in a lower depression than I thought I could ever be in. I was binge drinking wine. I was binging Netflix. I was feeling alone in my relationships because I wasn't recognizing the truth of things in my environment, in my relationships, and within myself. And it's not to place blame on anyone. I'm grateful for everything and everyone. But these are things that were not aligned with me and my frequency. And I basically was being forced to leave. I was basically being forced, when I was recognizing the truth of, some family relationships that I decided to part ways because it was better. I was recognizing that, the hardships, they were there for a reason. I wasn't finding work. I was chronically ill and bedridden. My 8-year relationship was, falling apart. But I was recognizing the truth of things of, how I'd been, treated in certain relationships and, how I was reacting in them as well, is that changes needed to be made. I needed to address things within myself. I had a victimhood. I had, a mindset I didn't like, but it's because I was staying in places that were not meant for me. I had to address things, and the universe forces you to do these things. And it can be really overwhelming where your life implodes, where you're basically forced to make a move, do something new, embark in the unknown alone, which is what I did going through my awakening. And then I was alone for a year for me to find these realizations for you. And that's, not really how I want you to embrace life. So I hope my tools, over the Autumn Mindset can help share these, unique perspectives for you to leave your struggle wherever you are in your life, because I don't want your life to have to implode for you to make change, because that was me. But it was the universe forcing me to recognize these things. And, it was a part of my journey. It was meant to be so I could gain clarity for you. And I'm grateful for it. But the universe is really, trying to get you to an elevated space, because when everything shattered in my life, it actually led me to make a move. I, was being forced out. Well, not forced, but, I was leaving my home. I wasn't getting jobs. I was applying to 20 I was sending out 10 to 20 resumes a day, and I wasn't getting anything. And that was the universe saying, you're done. That was the universe saying, all the doors are closed here, make a move. And I just felt this intuitive, tug in my gut. And I didn't know what that was at the time. Couldn't perceive the truth of it. And that was my intuition first coming into, my reality. Because when we're at different vibrations, we can actually align with our intuition different. We feel different in our body. We leave a lot of the anxiety, the depression, things shift. So it's getting to a higher vibration that is a part of it. We need to let things go. We need to address things. And I know that's not easy, but it is a part of the process because we've been conditioned at this low vibration that we feel stuck to. And we can't always perceive the truth of things in our relationships, within ourselves, within our environment that are affecting us. And then we need to let go of or make a change. So, it was in, just leaving. I booked a one-way ticket, scared shitless across country. And it was exactly what I needed. It elevated my vibration unknowingly. I wasn't aware of it at the time, but now I recognize it aligned my frequency. It, brought me to a space to elevate vibration. My fibromyalgia pain was going away. The habits that were harmful, I felt stuck to, fell off. I had no desire to drink alcohol. I had no desire to watch Netflix. I had no desire to binge food. Things were just coming into a better space. And it wasn't, me saying I shouldn't do these things. They just fell off. They just didn't interest me. Because when we're living at a higher vibration, we're in a better space. We are more healed. Our nervous system is naturally releasing things. And yes, you do have to do healing. But we've been conditioned to put blocks up in our nervous system, which keep us stuck. And it's in this, because the blocks in our nervous system is, restricting our connection with our intuition, with the universe, with the universe being able to bring things into your current reality and into your current perception in this present moment. So that's the thing we need to let go of, is a lot of the blocks within. And that's why when you do healing, yes, it doesn't feel good in the moment, but you're actually releasing energy. You're releasing things that have been repressed and stagnant that have been affecting you in your mind and in your body. And once you let go of those things, you're elevating to a higher vibration unknowingly. And it's bringing you to a better space. So keep doing the healing. That's a part of the journey. And I know it's not fun, but it's a process. Like, I'm still doing healing. We're all, doing healing. But I can tell you, it is not as heavy. It is not as dark. It is not as overwhelming when you're at a high vibration, when you're aligned with your frequency. Things are just, at a different perception that you understand what they are. You accept it for what it is, and it's really bringing you to a better space in how you feel, in how your mindset is, in your way of being, in your physical body, So this is, kind of the story of, my 30 years of how I was kind of recognizing, going through the shift in conscious awareness, that we're being led to high vibration and our, aligned frequency, our authentic selves. And I was someone who'd never been in front of the screen. I was someone who, I felt like I didn't have a voice. And if you look back on my past videos, you can tell, I left all those videos up. They are not my current perception, but you can see the shift. You can see the shift in my words. I had things to heal. You can see the shift in my perception and how I'm showing up on the screen. And, how we view it as self-development and growth. Yes, it is a part of that. But it's actually aligning with your frequency that is making you, live a different reality. You are basically becoming, different. You are basically co-creating with the universe the person you want to be, living the life that you want to co-create. So yeah, that's a part of it. So go ahead to understand that, the universe is really bringing you to a space that it's bringing you signs, but at low vibrations, it's bringing you what it can, which is struggle, which is things you're meant to face. And, me leaving certain environments, saying goodbye to certain relationships, addressing things within myself, it was, heavy. I repressed a lot for 30 years and, it was all coming to the surface because this stuff doesn't go away. It stays in your nervous system. So, it was heavy in the moment, yes. But I can tell you that when you learn to let things go, which is not how we've been conditioned in society, it is actually elevating your vibration. It is leading you to align with your authentic frequency and is bringing you to leave the struggles you feel stuck to, whether that's, binging things, whether that's, your way of being and you don't like your job, you feel fear. The truth is that emotions don't exist. Emotions are how we feel in our nervous system, and those are terms we associate them with. But that's a part of our conditioning, is that, the emotions are key. And because we associate our emotions with terms, it actually puts up blocks in our nervous system that is restricting us from elevating vibration. It's restricting us from aligning with our unique frequency to actually co-create with the universe the reality we desire. Because it is your state of being in this present moment that determines your reality. So that is your emotions. That is what you're feeling. And we use words like happiness. And I know this triggers people, but triggers lead to truth. There's a truth there. That is the universe sending you a clue to say, I can't send you anything else because you're at a low vibration. Here's a trigger. Address it, figure it out so you can release it and let it go so it no longer affects you. So you can, get to a better space. But yeah, happy. The terms we're using, they've been conditioned for a reason. And, this isn't me, trying to place blame. It really doesn't matter who put these things in place in society, but you need to recognize them to break your perception for you to get to a better space to recognize they are affecting your reality. So the word happy, it's so built into our society. Look at the most common things and actually question why they're there. Because we use this term happiness as this ever state of being. We use this term happiness to define how we actually feel. We say, are you happy? That is a common question. Instead of getting to know the deep root of how someone is emotionally feeling, we just say, are you happy? And in truth, happy is just an emotion. Emotions don't exist. But if you look up happy in the dictionary, it's actually defined as contentment. So, break that perception. We've been conditioned to stay stuck in these mindsets that we're seeking this future happiness. We're not focused on the present moment and what we have to feel the gratitude. And it is the gratitude that actually, gets us to a space to co-create a reality with the universe. We are focused on this happiness in the future. And if you look up happy in the dictionary, it's defined as contentment. So, question, is that actually the future reality that you seek? A life of contentment? I know myself, I would rather, want to say I lived a life of fulfillment, of empowerment, of peace, different words that have more direct meaning. So these are terms that have really been built into our society that remove our authenticity and remove our state of being in the present to understand that, we can change. We can create the reality we desire, but we need to let things go. We need to shift our perception in order to get there. So, and emotions are key. So, I always like to throw that one out there because everyone likes to talk about happiness. I just want to be happy. It's so commonly said, but no one really knows what that means. And that's a part of the problem, is that we've been conditioned to be seeking something that we don't even understand. And the truth is, emotions don't exist. They are how we feel in our nervous system, our state of being. And that's where we put up blocks, because we're seeking something in the future instead of being in the present moment. And when we feel something, it's just energy. That's all it is. And that's why, you people say you can feel different emotions at once. You can feel a sense of fear and excitement, and they're pretty similar. And it's in this, if you look at the two terms, they're very different. If you think of fear and you think of excitement, they're completely different, but they feel the same in your body because emotions are not real. They're terms that we have built in our society that keep us stuck sometimes. So whenever you're feeling something, just allow it to be felt, because that's the energy that is, present. And the energy that's present, you're supposed to feel in fullness so that it can be released out of your nervous system. When we put names to emotions, we only subconsciously, allow ourselves to feel what we are perceiving. And anything that's close to that emotion and energy is felt, but the rest gets stuck. The rest actually stays in our nervous system, which puts up blocks, which actually makes us dysregulated in our nervous system because it's just feeling what needs to be felt. You're just feeling energy. That's all it is. So shift that perception. Question a lot of the emotions you're using. And if you are, make sure they're very clear, defined ones, like empowerment, like peaceful, things, I get it. Like, we're here having a human experience. We need to use words. So I get it. Like, it's a part of the process. So go ahead to understand, that a lot of the things we've been conditioned, they're actually removing us and keeping us stuck, in these cycles. They're keeping us stuck in anxiety. We don't know why we can't break out of them. But it's in breaking our perception. It's really addressing things in this present moment that I learned is the key. The universe is bringing things into this present moment you're meant to address. You're meant to feel. So try to recognize what's repeating your life because they're sending you clues. But we cannot always perceive them because of where we are uniquely in our vibration and our, current frequency alignment. So if you're feeling a lot of struggle, it means you're out of alignment. You're not aligned with your frequency. And the universe is trying to guide you there. So those are some tips. And, just kind of a broad view of, how, my unique journey, my unique story, I guess, for 30 years was leading me to this space to kind of act as a perception breaker for you, if you will, to help you align with your unique frequency, to actually elevate your vibration, to lead you to a space that you can co-create your reality with the universe, or just leave your struggle. A lot of, the hardships and the things in our environment, in our society, it is heartbreaking. And I'm tired of looking at it, to be quite frank with you. So I'm sharing this with you just to say that we can leave our struggle. We can leave a lot of the things we feel stuck to. I felt such darkness for 30 years. And I get emotional just, talking about it because I know everyone's going through so much hardship. And I can just feel it. So just understand, you can get to a beautiful space. Whatever that looks like in your perception right now, it's more beautiful than you can currently perceive. It's a different way of feeling. It's a different way of being. And, people talk about going to 5D and New Earth. And yes, there's a shift. There's a shift in conscious awareness. There is a big awakening going on. So wherever you are in your journey, that is my wish to help you to grow and evolve and expand and to let go of the things that are restricted in you. Your nervous system is overwhelmed, but you can get to a great space. And, sometimes when we feel stuck in our environment, it's things we need to let go of. And I know that's hard. I've been there, but, it's a part of this journey. So I just wanted to share this with you that, this is why I'm here. This is why the Autumn Mindset is here. My, unique story of what led me to kind of be your perception breaker, your healer, guide you in ways that are unique to you. Because yes, we are one consciousness, but the truth is that how I perceive it, we each have a unique perception in this moment. And that's truly, a beautiful thing. And that's the thing that we stay stuck to. That's the thing that we hold on to, our story. What we are currently experiencing. And that's why we remain separate. So, but you can't just say, 30 years I felt, so much darkness, so much pain. I suffered so much abuse and trauma. There was no way in hell that, if you were to say we are one, that made sense to me. And let's face it, it doesn't at different perceptions, at different levels of conscious awareness. That's what I mean. We're trying to help guide people, but a lot of the time it cannot, be viewed in the same way at different perceptions. So while I always wanted to come from an empathetic place and I always, showed love, people saying we are one, I just took that for, yeah, we're the same. That's all I could perceive it as, in different stages in conscious awareness throughout my life. So we are one consciousness, but a part of the struggle in our society is we are all stuck to the separation of our unique perception. So take this moment wherever you are in your journey to understand that your unique perception is a beautiful thing, but it's something that you need to focus on. It's something, that wherever you're looking to change and grow in your life, you are the key. It's your perception. It's how you're viewing your environment. It's how you are viewing yourself. Because we have this filter on sometimes that we need to address things within ourselves and in our environment to let things go. The old mindsets, the wounds, the healing, the relationships, the careers, the things that we are not, feeling fulfilled. If it's not feeling fulfilled, if it's not making you feel, most of the time, like you are excited, you feel flow, you feel like this is for me, then it's not in alignment and you need to let it go. And I know that's hard, but sometimes you have to lose everything to understand the truth of what it means to be grateful for everything. And that was me. I left everyone I knew. I left, the life I once knew. That old me died. And, I lost all my money. I went through a lot of hardship, for 30 years. And yes, I'm getting a little emotional, but you're supposed to feel things as they're meant to be felt. And that's a part of it. Allow yourself to be vulnerable because it's a beautiful thing. And I'm getting emotional just because I know the hardship you're going through. I know you're stuck. And that's truly the thing that stays on my heart, is that I just want to help you grow wherever you are, out of your struggle, your darkness. And that's the only thing that remains true. Regardless of my struggle, it doesn't mean anything to me. What means something to me is that, you get to a better space. I'm back. I'm going to leave that in there because that is a part of the journey, is, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. And I don't care. Being vulnerable is a beautiful thing. It is really how we're meant to be living. It means there's things that need to be released. And, it brought me to this space. It brought me out of the hardship that I know so many of you are facing, and you don't know how to get out of it. You don't know how it feels. You just feel like you're doing the same thing every day, not understanding why you feel the way you feel, but there's something more deep within. Maybe you're just, thinking you're fine, but you're scared to do things. Fear is so built into our society. We don't travel anywhere. We don't really live life. And then we question, why we feel the way we feel. And it's getting to high vibration. It's aligning with your frequency. That's actually bringing you everything your soul desires. And that's my wish for you. So, this is me just being my vulnerable self, because that's truly who we're meant to be. Aligning with our authentic selves and our unique frequency in this moment to experience things. And it's a beautiful thing. So I hope the Autumn Mindset helps you on your unique journey of growth and self-discovery to embark in change and, a lot of healing. But I'm just hoping to help you shift perceptions, break perceptions you feel stuck to when you're feeling like you're stuck in a situation, when you're feeling like you're not growing, you're feeling like you're lost. All the things we feel in our unique journey. It is for a reason. And, you can get to a better space. You can align with your frequency to the new earth, the 5D. And regardless of those things, just leave a lot of those cycles you feel stuck to. A better way of being. And truly, that's my wish for you. So, after the little cry, I'm going to go ahead to share with you if you feel the call. I will not be crying during this masterclass, but I am hosting a masterclass on December 2nd for 30 years of experience that I've experienced of how the universe was actually bringing me clarity and signs to help you break perception wherever you are in your journey, for the clarity to leave your struggle, through healing, through, the depression, the anxiety, how we've been conditioned in society, how to embrace, that fear that doesn't really exist, how to, go through your awakening journey and connect your intuition to guide you on a path towards your unique frequency and your own vibration that's elevated, because we're all at a high vibration. We've just been bogged down because we've been conditioned to seek control. We've been conditioned to repress things, and it's in letting go of those things, as I mentioned, we elevate to a higher vibration, which helps us leave a lot of the struggle, even the chronic physical illness that, I've overcome twice. I just didn't know how. Doctors said there was no cure. They say there's no cure for depression, anxiety, and I left those. But it was aligning with my unique frequency. It was elevating to a high vibration that all of the struggle I felt stuck to for 30 years fell off. And yeah, I'm happy to share these things with you. So go ahead to post the link here and, give it a read, give it a view. Because what I learned from the universe is that if I'm coming into view, it's for a reason. Things are being brought into your reality in the present moment, in the time they're meant to. So maybe it's something you need to address, become curious about, look into, join me on my masterclass. Who knows? Anyways, thank you for, following me through this episode, through this, unique journey. And I'm excited for you and your growth and expansion in ways that are unique to you.